Have you ever noticed that the moment you finally start feeling like yourself again, the moment your heart begins to heal, they suddenly reappear? Almost as if they can sense that their grip on you has loosened. Almost as if they can feel that you're no longer sitting by the phone, waiting, hurting, wondering. It's strange, isn't it? They walked away. They made their choice. They left you with unanswered questions, sleepless nights, and a heart that had to pick up the pieces alone. And now? Now that you've found your strength, now that you've started smiling again without thinking of them, they come back. The late-night messages, the "I've been thinking about you" out of nowhere. The sudden concern about how you're doing. At first, it might feel validating, like maybe they finally realized what they lost. But then reality hits. If they truly valued you, why did it take them losing you to see it? The truth. They don't come back because they've suddenly developed a newfound appreciation for you. They come back because they've lost control. They come back because, for the first time, they're the ones feeling uncertain. For so long, they knew you were there. They knew you cared. They knew that no matter how they treated you, there was a part of you that still held on. But now you've taken that power back. You've stopped waiting. You've stopped wishing. You've started living. And that's when the panic sets in for them. See, people like this don't fear losing you. They fear losing their hold over you. They fear losing the version of you that once gave them unconditional access to your heart. And when that access is denied, that's when they try to get it back. But you need to understand something. Their return is not about love. It's about ego. It's about regret wrapped in pride. It's about them wanting to see if they still matter in your world. Because if they can still affect you, it means they still have power over you. But you are not the same person you were when they left. The pain changed you. The silence made you stronger. The loneliness became your training ground for self-worth. So today, we're going deep. We're exposing the truth behind why they always come back when you move on, and most importantly, how you can stay in control and never let their return shake your foundation again. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am my own power, and no one will take that from me. Let's begin. Number 1. They want what they can't have anymore. The moment you stopped chasing them, something shifted. They felt it. That invisible thread, the one they always assumed connected you to them, was suddenly gone. And now they're scrambling. See, when they walked away, they did it with confidence. Maybe they thought you'd wait. Maybe they assumed you'd always be an option. And for a while, you might have been. You held on, hoping for change. But then, something happened. You let go. Not in anger, not in bitterness, but in realization. Realization that chasing someone who doesn't see your worth is the fastest way to lose yourself. And now that you've pulled away, they want you back. But let's be honest, it's not about love. It's not about some deep, heartfelt realization that you were the best thing that ever happened to them. Not. This is about control. People crave what they can't have. It's a basic truth of human nature. The moment you became unavailable, you became desirable again, not because they appreciate you, but because they lost the comfort of knowing you were always there. That's why your silence is cutting them deeper than any words could. It forces them to confront something they never expected, the possibility that they are no longer important to you. And that's what shakes them to their core. They miss the power they had over your emotions, the way they could pull back, knowing you'd chase, the way they could ignore you, knowing you'd reach out. But now they're the ones left waiting, They're the ones checking their phone, wondering if you'll ever look back. They never prepared for this version of you, the one who doesn't beg, the one who doesn't wait, the one who understands their own worth. As Maya Angelou wisely said, never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option. And that's the mindset you've stepped into. You're no longer an option, you're the prize, and they know it now. But here's what you need to remember. Just because they come back doesn't mean they've changed. It doesn't mean they suddenly understand your value. It just means they're feeling the loss of their own control. So don't mistake their regret for genuine love. Don't mistake their curiosity for commitment, because if they truly valued you, they would have never put you in a position to question it in the first place. Stay strong, stay silent, let them feel what they made you feel. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I don't chase what doesn't value me. Number 2, they need to feel that you still care. When they come back after you've moved on, don't mistake it for love. It's not about missing you, it's about missing the way you made them feel. They want to know that they still have an effect on you, that even after all this time, your heart still holds a place for them. This isn't about regret, it's about ego validation. Psychological studies confirm this pattern. A 2022 study in personality and social psychology bulletin found that 68% of exes who reach out do so to repair their own self-esteem, not because they genuinely want to reconcile. They don't miss the relationship, they miss the comfort of knowing someone still wants them. Think about it. If they truly valued you, they wouldn't need to test your feelings. They wouldn't need to pop back in just to see if you'd still pick up their call. Real love doesn't need validation. It stands strong, even in absence. But when someone is driven by ego, they seek reassurance. They want to know they still have a grip on you. And the worst part? They don't want to earn it. They don't want to put in the work, take accountability, or prove they've changed. They just want to see if you'll fall back into old habits. They want to send a "hey" just to see if you'll respond. They want to watch your stories, knowing it will make you think about them. They want to see if they can still get a reaction from you. It's not love, it's a test. But here's what you need to understand. You are not someone's emotional safety net. You are not here to feed someone's ego just because they're feeling insecure. They had their chance to appreciate you, and they let it slip. That's their burden to carry now, not yours. Epictetus once said, "Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Their actions, their mind games, their need for validation, that is beyond your control. But what is within your control? Your reaction. You don't have to respond. You don't have to give them what they're looking for, because every time you entertain their games, you give them power, and you've worked too hard to regain your strength just to hand it back over. Let them wonder. Let them sit with the uncertainty. Let them feel the loss of you. You don't need to prove you've moved on. Your silence will say everything. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I have released what no longer serves me. Number 3, they never expected you to be fine without them. One of the hardest pills they have to swallow is that you're not just surviving without them, you're thriving. The moment they realize you're out here living your best life, smiling, glowing, and growing, it shakes them to their core. Because deep down, they never thought you'd be okay without them. They assumed you would crumble under the weight of the breakup. They assumed you would struggle to find happiness again. They assumed you would always hold space for them, waiting, hoping, hurting. But what happens when you don't? What happens when they check in and see that you've moved forward, stronger than ever? It terrifies them. It's not your pain that haunts them, it's your strength. Because the moment they see you flourishing without them, the illusion they built in their head shatters. A study conducted by therapist Dr. Sarah Thompson found that in over 100 cases of exes returning, the most common triggers were seeing their ex post-career success on social media, noticing their ex being happy and confident in new photos, hearing about their ex being seen with a new romantic prospect. Think about that. They're not coming back because they miss you. They're coming back because they didn't expect you to be fine without them. This isn't about love. It's about control. They need to feel like they still have a hold on you. That deep down, no matter how happy you seem, you're still missing them. But when they realize that's not the case, that's when the panic sets in. They never actually considered the possibility that you'd be okay. That you'd go out, build a stronger version of yourself, and completely detach from the idea of needing them. Maybe you're traveling. Maybe you're working on yourself. Maybe you're glowing in a way that shows you found happiness, real happiness. And suddenly, they don't feel so special anymore. See, some people don't actually want you. They just want to know that they could have you if they wanted. It's not about love. It's about power. And that's where your strength becomes your greatest weapon. Because the moment they see that you're not waiting for them anymore, the moment they realize you've truly let go, they have to confront a painful truth. You were never the one who needed them. They were the ones who needed you. Seneca once said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And that's exactly what's happening here. They're suffering, not because of what is, but because of what they imagined would happen. They imagined you falling apart. They imagined you regretting losing them. They imagined you staying broken forever. But now you're living in the real world and they're trapped in the imaginary one. Let them suffer in their own mind. Let them sit with the loss, because at the end of the day, their biggest regret won't be losing you. It will be underestimating your ability to move forward without them. And that is a pain they will have to live with. Number 4. They fear losing the image they created. When they walked away, they thought they were leaving you behind. They thought they were stepping into something better, something different, something that would validate their decision. But what they never realized was that they weren't just leaving you, they were leaving behind the version of themselves that existed in your eyes. They had this perfect image of who they were to you. Maybe they saw themselves as the one who had the power, the one who made the choices, the one you adored, admired, and maybe even put on a pedestal. They thought they would always be that person in your mind. That no matter what happened, you would still see them as someone special, someone irreplaceable, someone you could never truly let go of. But now, that illusion is gone. When you move on, when you rebuild, when you find happiness without them, it does something they never expected. It destroys the image they created for themselves. And for someone whose ego is built on being important to you, that is unbearable. They can't stand the idea that you no longer see them as special, that their presence is no longer something you crave, that the moment they decided to leave, they unknowingly started erasing themselves from your life. They thought they could walk away on their terms, but now they're realizing that you get to decide what their role in your story actually is. And you've chosen to make them irrelevant. That's why they come back. Not because they miss you. Not because they suddenly had a revelation about love. But because they can't handle the idea that their importance in your life is fading. But here's the thing, you've changed. You see them for what they really are now. You've outgrown the version of them that once had power over you. You've evolved, and in comparison, they haven't. When they come back, it's not a sign of growth. It's proof that they're still stuck in the past. They haven't moved forward. They're still grasping at the image of themselves that you once held on to. They think that by returning, they can reclaim that feeling, that they can step back into your life and everything will go back to the way it was. But that's their biggest mistake, because the version of you they left behind no longer exists. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts, and that is the ultimate difference between you and them. You have shifted your mindset. You have redefined your own value, independent of them. You have built a version of yourself that no longer needs to seek validation from someone who walked away." Meanwhile, they are still trapped in their own ego, trapped in the fantasy that they still hold power over you, trapped in the fear that they are no longer the person they once believed themselves to be. And that's the truth they will have to live with. They will spend their nights wondering why they don't feel as important anymore. They will question why their presence no longer shakes you, why the same words that once melted your heart now feel meaningless. And in the end, they will realize that the only person who truly lost something was them. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My value is not tied to someone else's ego. Number 5. They see you moving forward and it's breaking their ego. When they come back into your life, it's not just curiosity, it's panic. They see you moving forward without them. They see you smiling, thriving, embracing your freedom, and that reality is shattering their ego. Because, deep down, they never truly believed you would let them go. For so long, they assumed they had the power. They dictated the rhythm of your relationship, when to give attention, when to pull away, when to come back. They thought they could come and go as they pleased, knowing you would always be there, waiting, hoping, longing. But now that illusion is gone. You've changed. You stopped waiting. You stopped hoping. You stopped caring about what they do. And that shift, that silent, unspoken rejection, is crushing them. They may never say it out loud, but their return is not about love. It's about fear. Fear of losing their place in your life. Fear of being forgotten. Fear of realizing they never had as much power over you as they thought. This isn't about missing you. It's about missing control. They see you stepping into a new chapter. Without them, they see your glow, your success, your strength, and it burns them inside. Not because they want you back, but because they hate the idea that you don't need them anymore. They thought they were irreplaceable, but now they're watching as life replaces them piece by piece. And that's what truly terrifies them. They don't control your emotions anymore. They don't control your decisions anymore. They don't control your future anymore. And when someone who thrives on power and control feels powerless, that's when they come running back. They'll try to insert themselves into your life again, maybe with a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" Maybe with a long emotional message, reminiscing about the past. Maybe through a random social media reaction, just enough to get your attention. But here's the truth. You owe them nothing. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Their return is just another test, another chance for you to prove to yourself that you are not the person they once knew. You have outgrown them. They left expecting to return to the same old version of you, the one who would pick up their call, the one who would melt at their words, the one who would consider giving them another chance. But they don't get that version of you anymore. Now you are in control. Now you decide how this story ends. And the most powerful response? Silence, indifference, moving forward without looking back. Let them watch. let them regret. Let them drown in the weight of their own ego, but never let them pull you back into a chapter you've already closed. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I am in control of my life and my future. When they come back into your life after you've moved on, it's not about you. It's about them. It's about their ego. It's about their need for validation. But you don't need them to define your worth. You've already found your strength. You've already discovered that you don't need anyone to validate your existence. And that is the most powerful realization of all. Remember, you are worthy of love, respect, and happiness, not because someone else says so, but because you know it in your heart. Don't let their return steal your peace or your power. Keep moving forward, keep growing, and most importantly, keep shining. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear more content that empowers you to take back control, subscribe to the channel and join our community of strong, self-assured individuals. You're not alone in this journey, and together we'll continue to grow stronger every day. Share your thought in the comments and let us know how you're taking back control today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.